Hi guys, and welcome to the University. Okay, so I just finished processing day 17 of the Raymond Davis trial. This occurred on September 17th, 2019. It's not terribly long, a little under 2 hours, and we get testimony from an officer and from a prior victim, and we have a lot of high tension, high emotions, yelling, cursing. It is an intense day of trial, and quite frankly, it was very difficult to listen to, very difficult to watch. So please consider this trigger warning. Be very mindful as you watch it. Take breaks if you need to. This was a tough one, and it's not over. There were several more months worth of events in this trial, and I will be bringing those to you as well. I am going to take a slight break from this and just move away into something that's a little bit easier on my mental health because this one was tough. All right. I do hope that you guys enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you think of how everybody handled themselves, who you think did a good job, if anyone, who you think did a bad job, if anyone. I'd love to know your thoughts. All right. See you soon.
All right, we're on the record in C-342-946, State of Nevada versus Raymond Davis. Mr. Davis is present out of custody with standby counsel Justice Haas. Chief Deputy District Attorney Stacey Collins is also present. So I received some documents this morning that the defendant went and got an independent mental health evaluation at Seven Hills Hospital. It basically is the same as the other one. It states that he was present and alert, oriented times 4. He's seeking outpatient services for feeling depression and anxiety. He talks about the case just causing him anxiety, feeling depressed, that also wearing the ankle monitor contributes to that. The doctor noted that his appearance was casual, his hygiene was good, his eye contact was good, his posture was normal and poised, his affect was appropriate, and his mood was appropriate. In regards to mood, the choices for the doctor were angry, anxious, appropriate, depressed, euphoric, irritable, and other. The doctor stated that he referred him to outpatient group therapy 3 times a week, and that was dated this morning at 7:25 in the morning. So I will have this marked as a court's exhibit, please. And if we could staple it, so there's no use.
Your Honor, he also wanted to keep me there today. He wanted to keep me not only as an outpatient, he wanted to keep me there, but I insisted that the court told me I better show up. So I says, if they keep me in the hospital, they're going to come and arrest me in the hospital. In no way did he want me to leave. He says, I can start treating you at 9. I says, I have to be in court at 10. There's no way I can make it. They took my vitals. They says, you know, you got really high blood pressure. You really need to go to the hospital. Also,
You were at the hospital.
well,
You were at Seven Hills Hospital.
yeah, another hospital.
That Seven Hills can't treat you for high blood pressure?
Well, after the fact that I had to go to court, he said I need to go to a hospital and get my, get some medication for my blood pressure. I tried to remain calm there, and which I did hold a lot in. I didn't want him to say, oh, okay, we're taking you away because you're not stable, just like now. And right now, I am very angry, but I'm holding it in. The things I talked to him about, a lot of things he didn't put in there, was the solitary confinement that this court put me into.
I didn't put you into solitary confinement.
somebody put me in solitary confinement where I was in a room for 23 hours a day with 1 hour out, which I never got that. And it really pushed me. And what really pushed me to the limits in this courtroom was the sexual things that was brought up to juries that caused a post-traumatic reflection in my mind, and you telling me how I should emotionally act when I broke down.
I said you cannot fall to the floor in front of a jury. I said if you need a break, let me know. Right?
Telling me I can't have an emotional breakdown or how to break down is, he couldn't believe that was said. I said, you can get the records, it was said.
Yep, it was.
I was halted away from court, solitary confinement. They made me sleep on a metal thing all night instead of preparing for a case. I said, basically, this court has driven me to a point where I don't even know if I can function, because I'm so angry all the time, and these things go through my head and this wasn't before, never happened before this court, before I walked into this courtroom. So in all honesty, I think the District Attorney, Stacey Collins, and you, Your Honor, have pushed me to a breaking point where, I don't know where my mind is going. I really don't. From when I told him that my ankle was bad, and I showed him, pulled off my sock, and then your answer to me was to take it off this ankle and put it on this one. And he says, now you can have 2 bad ankles instead of 1. I said, yes, that's the answer. They wanted to admit me. I wouldn't agree to it. I told them I would come back and do the group. I had no problem with that. I'm not asking for a mistrial. No, I don't want a mistrial. I'm asking for continuance so I can seek the help to get my head straight so I can concentrate on not only this case, but on my life.
All right. You chose to represent yourself. I did a FREDA canvas. We discussed multiple times about the stresses of a trial. You had the right to an attorney. You chose to forego that. You've tried many times to get out of this trial. You've done 2 now, mental evaluations. You told me on Friday that you wouldn't be able to be here yesterday because you were going to have surgery on your foot. So.
That was Monday.
Right, which was Monday was yesterday. So Friday you told me that there was a chance you wouldn't be here Monday because you had surgery on your foot.
No, I said I might, and I told you I would postpone that.
Okay, so your motion to continue the trial is denied. The doctor doesn't list any of the things that you're talking about in there at all. He discusses the fact that he referred you to group therapy 3 times a week, that he found your mood appropriate. And so I can only go off of what the doctor's notes actually say. So the motion to continue is denied. Is there anything else that we need to discuss outside the presence before I bring the jury in?
No, I just had a couple of motions, but I'm not going to use them. So.
Okay, can you see if the jury's here, please?
For my, for the doctors, so I must go to group tonight or tomorrow. I mean, is that going to be scheduled around the court? I mean, group, or how did that work?
I don't know when group meets, so hopefully it meets when we're not in court.
So if I'm in group, I mean, court takes precedence over the group, right? The therapy,
Yes.
mental therapy.
Right. Sorry, Ms. Collins, go ahead.
Your Honor, the first witness will require the reading of the Tavares fashion instruction.
Okay.
And if I could get a start time for tomorrow, I'm trying to organize.
So they are trying to find me coverage so we can get a full day in. But I haven't gotten a full-fledged okay yet. So I'm sorry, I wish I could be more helpful. I've prepared my entire calendar for whoever would be able to step in. However, they're still trying to find that human.
How early are you trying to have start in the morning?
9:30. Did you have your calendar call in front of Judge Sylvia?
Not yet, Your Honor. It's happening, I think, Thursday.
Can I ask which
No,
witnesses?
Wednesday. It could happen Wednesday.
Can I ask which witness is going to come up so I can get the paperwork on it?
Officer D. Cazares.
I think I misspoke, Your Honor. It's actually calendar call in front of Judge Herndon.
I have nothing on Officer D. Cazares. Who is that?
So it's the week after that.
No, I have nothing in my discovery on Officer D. Cazares, whoever it is.
Was he a notice witness?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, I didn't get discovery on this officer.
Do you want me to give him a copy of this?
Yes,
report?
I'm
talking, Mr. Davis.
I'm sorry, Ms. Collinsworth?
Yes, Mrs. Collins, I hear you.
Mr. Davis?
You're going all in my head, and I fucking hear you talking. I fucking hear you.
Mr. Davis, calm down, please.
Juror number 7's not here yet, Your Honor.
Okay.
You don't think I can fucking hear?
Mr. Davis?
No, I'm not okay, Officer Kelly.
Ms. Collins, what were you saying in regards to the piece of paper?
This was provided in a discovery when I was asked to scan the entire file over again for Mr. Davis.
Okay.
If he needs a new copy, we can provide him that. This is the only copy I have. It had some of my scribble on it.
Mr. Klaus, would you mind grabbing that for me and so I can take a look at it, please? Thank you.
Police report from the 2004 case involving Erica Munoz.
Okay. Would you mind giving Mr. Davis a copy and throwing that back to Ms. Collins? Thank you.
If you don't get your calendar covered for tomorrow, what time would we start?
Probably be like 1 because we're 43 pages.
Calendars go out.
Oh, for the trial? Just
All right, for the entrance to the jury. All members of the jury are present, Your Honor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is State of Nevada versus Raymond Davis. Mr. Davis is defendant. Mr. Klaus, as standby counsel, Chief Deputy District Attorney Stacey Collins, present on behalf of the State of Nevada. Good morning. Thank you for returning. As we spoke about yesterday, well, first of all, did both parties stipulate to the presence of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, as we were talking about yesterday, sometimes in scheduling, we have to pause with somebody and then pick up with somebody, but yesterday, we finished with the last witness, Detective Martinez, so now we'll be starting a new witness, and we'll get back to Vanessa, I believe, later this afternoon. Before this witness, though, I need to read you an instruction. You are about to hear evidence pertaining to allegations that the defendant committed offenses other than that for which he is on trial for. Such evidence, if believed, was not received and may not be considered by you to prove that he is a person of bad character. However, in a criminal prosecution for a sexual offense, you may consider prior sexual acts or offenses for propensity purposes. You must weigh this evidence in the same manner as you do all other evidence in this case. Ms. Collins, your next witness.
Thank you, Officer Cazares.
Remain standing. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give this action will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please state your complete name, spelling both your first and last name for the record.
Daniel Cazares, D-A-N-I-E-L, Cazares, C-A-Z-A-R-E-S.
Thank you.
Sir, how are you employed?
I am a police officer with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
How long have you been so employed?
I've been with Metro for about 17 years.
And what is your assignment?
I am currently assigned to the downtown area command.
Have you always been patrol in downtown area command?
I've done various things, but I've mostly been in the downtown area.
Were you on duty as a Metro officer on June 27th of 2004?
Yes.
Were you assigned with a partner that day or riding alone?
I believe I was riding alone.
Did you receive a call out to respond to the Plaza Hotel here in downtown?
Yes.
That's 1 Main Street, Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, correct?
Yes.
What was the reason that you were called out to the Plaza Hotel?
We got a call that a older gentleman had brought younger girls to the hotel room, so they wanted us to respond.
Did you respond?
Yes.
And what did you do when you arrived?
When I arrived, I talked to security, who briefly told me kind of the same thing, where the gentleman brought, from what he knew, the gentleman brought 2 young girls from
I object,
out of state.
Your Honor, speculation.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Object. He's saying what he heard from the security. This is hearsay.
Okay, Ms. Collins.
It's offered for what the officer did next, Your Honor, not for the truth.
All right, so in regards to what you're about to say, this is offered for what the officer did next, so go ahead.
So based on, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Based on the information you received from the security guard regarding this older gentleman and the younger 2 girls, what did you do next?
I then began to investigate. Then I spoke with 2 young girls. One was named Erica, and one was named Ashley.
Do you know how old Erica was?
I believe Erica at the time was 14 years old.
And how about Ashley?
Ashley, at the time, I believe she was 15 years old.
Where did you speak to them?
I spoke to them on the property of the Plaza Hotel.
Were they in the presence of the older gentleman that was said to be with them when you spoke to them?
No, not when I spoke to them.
After you spoke with them, did you learn who the individual was that they were with?
Yes.
And who was that?
A gentleman named Raymond Davis.
Did you have contact with Raymond Davis at the hotel?
I did.
That's just not going to stay up there. Do you see Ray Davis in court today?
I do.
Where is he seated and what is he wearing today?
He's sitting right there, gray shirt and dark pants, white shoes.
Where did you have contact with Mr. Davis?
So, I apologize, I'm just gonna make sure that the record reflects that the witness had identified the defendant, sorry about that, go ahead.
I apologize, Your Honor, I
No,
jumped ahead.
no worries.
Where in the hotel, if you recall?
I believe it was on the property, but it was kind of like, I believe it was a separate room. There's like the main casino floor, and there's another hallway kind of for employees, and where kind of security office is at. So I believe I talked to him in that little area.
Had you been able to confirm at that time whether he was a registered guest at the plaza?
Yeah, security told me that he was considered a high roller for the Plaza Hotel.
When you spoke,
Object. Gentlemen, can you explain what a high roller is? I mean, going into detail. Is this hearsay? I mean, that's hearsay that I'm a high roller?
I'll move on, Your Honor.
Okay.
So, when you spoke to Mr. Davis, was he under arrest?
No,
Was he in handcuffs?
no,
Did you have any weapons drawn or anything?
no,
Did you have a conversation with him?
yes.
Can you tell us about that conversation?
He told me that that he was staying at the Plaza Hotel. He told me that his room was comped by the Plaza, that I asked him about Ashley and the girls. He said that he had permission to have Ashley in Las Vegas, and that he had a written note from Ashley's mother. I asked for the note. He said he didn't have it, that it was in California. And then he said that when they were in the bedroom, when they were staying all together in the bedroom, that he would stay on the couch in the bedroom.
Did he tell you did he tell you anything other than he had permission to have Ashley in Las Vegas?
He said that he had permission and he had some kind of custody of Ashley.
Did he provide you any documents for that?
No.
Did he talk to you about how the girls traveled to Las Vegas?
Yeah, he explained to me that he bought tickets for them. Yes,
What kind of tickets?
bus tickets.
Without telling me what they said, what was Erica's demeanor when you met with her?
Erica seemed more frightened than Ashley. Erica seemed concerned of her current situation in Las Vegas, being away from home, which is California.
Do you know who instigated the report regarding Mr. Davis being with these two young girls in Las Vegas?
There was another citizen in another room in the Plaza Hotel, and I believe Erica became friends with another person in another room, which I think it was like I don't know if it was a teenager, I can't remember, it was 15 years ago. But she made a friend with another person, and that person told his or her mother the situation.
This is hearsay. He's given statements about another person telling this person this. and this person from this firm, this.
This call.
It's not offered for the truth, it's offered to show how the call came in and who it came in from.
All right, so I think, sorry, officer, I'm trying to go through your answer in my head, just give me a second. So I think the fact that how the call came in, from basically a concerned citizen, and from there on, the hearsay objection is sustained.
Do you know whether or not Erica called the police on her own?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Did Ashley call the police on her own?
No.
You were riding with an officer, Jay Relat, is that correct?
I think we were separated. Like, I think so. I think we were in two different cars. We both responded to the call together.
Did both you and Officer Relat gather information from people on the scene?
Yes.
Were handwritten statements acquired?
Yes, I believe so.
Were they acquired from Erica?
I believe they were, yes.
Okay. How about Ashley?
I believe so, yes.
Was a handwritten statement acquired from a Roxana Martinez?
I believe we got a statement from her too.
And a Jeff Calzada?
I'm not sure.
Okay. How about Paul Martinez?
I don't recall.
I will pass the Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Davis Cross?
Oh, sure. What's your last name?
Kazars.
How do you, who called the police?
I believe security did.
So if security called the police, wouldn't you have a report that shows security, how they called it, why they called it?
I would not. But you're talking about, like,
So you wouldn't know how the police was,
I would
why
ask-
the police was called?
So just, Ms. Watt,
I would ask that you let him finish his response before we ask another question, please.
did you have a more detailed response, sir?
no.
You have no idea how the police was called?
I believe security called.
Believe?
Yes.
How long you been a police officer?
About 17 years.
So, I don't get, I mean, if you can explain how you can respond to something and don't know who gave the call, I like a little insight on that.
It was 15 years ago. I've been to thousands and thousands of calls since then. Specifically, I don't remember. I believe security called because usually, from what I remember, the lady in the other room told security, and then security called us. Is what what I remember. As far as like a report or records, I think it would be an internal.
Let's get to the lady in the other room. So, there's a lady in the other room that would initiate the police call they knew. Could you tell which room it was, next to my room or across from my room?
I would have to look at the report to see the actual room number. I don't recall the room number.
Can we give him the report so he can refresh his memory?
I don't have anything
I
up
don't
here.
have it either.
Well, that's not true, I just made a copy again for him.
This isn't the police report.
Your Honor, it is the copy of the report that was drafted by Officer Casares back in 2004. It's the one, and an additional copy for him this morning.
No, this is what I got this morning, Your Honor.
That's the police report, sir. So if you would like him to look at that, then Marshal O'Kelly can take it up.
So, where was the defendant during this time? Did you contact
The defendant,
Yeah.
yourself?
I was
I don't know exactly, but security eventually found you.
eventually, security eventually found me. How did that come about? How did security find me?
They went looking for you?
And approximately what time did they find me?
I don't know.
So, you had thousands and thousands of cases since 2004. How do you remember all the details in this one?
I remember I was about a year and a half on the force. I was a graveyard, I was a brand new cop, considered a brand new cop, you know. This was, stood out in my mind for someone to bring young girls from California to Las Vegas. And when security described him as a high roller.
Can you explain what a high roller is?
I'm sorry?
Can you explain what a high roller is? Because I don't know.
I believe a high roller to a casino is considered someone who spends a lot of money. So like gambling, you know, just spends a lot of money on the floor, gets rooms comped, gets meals comped. VIP, very important person, just someone special.
So, did you get any idea of the relationship to the defendant to Ashley
What do you mean, sir?
as their relationship? Friends, family, whatever.
For me, it was an awkward relationship, but I mean, I guess friends, I don't know. I don't know.
So you didn't check with anyone to see if,
Eventually I called the grandfather, grandmother, and I called, when I called the grandfather of Ashley, I think it was a grandfather, they said that Ashley was a runaway from California, and that she did not have permission to be in California with an older man. I guess she had recently had an argument with her grandmother, which kind of sparked her running away. And I did a records check later on, and she was listed in NCIC as a missing person.
can I see that Ashley was a runaway? Can I see that report?
I don't have that report.
DA probably has it, so I would like to see that where Ashley stated to you that she was a runaway.
Well, your objection mischaracterizes the testimony. The information that she's a runaway is contained in the police report. I don't have a 2004 NCIC missing person. You wouldn't be entitled to that anyway.
So the police report that we've been talking about lists Ashley as a runaway, is that?
No.
Per the information from her grandfather, that's correct, that she was a runaway in California.
Okay, understood.
Your Honor, he's mixing up names basically because when his,
Is there an objection or is there a question?
was Erica Munez a runaway too?
I don't believe so, no.
So Erica Munez was not the runaway, but Ashley was the runaway.
As far as I remember, Ashley was listed in a national database as a missing runaway person, kid. Erica was not listed in NCIC, national database. However, she told her guardians that she was going to be with Ashley for the night. And that's what I believe she didn't. She wasn't listed as a runaway because she wasn't supposed to be in Vegas. So,
did they get to Vegas?
by you.
I drove them to Vegas?
You provided, my understanding, you provided money for tickets for them to come to Las Vegas.
Where did they drop off in Vegas?
There's a bus station 200 South Main Street, which is a Greyhound. From my understanding, that's where they were picked up.
They were picked up after that?
Yes.
Officer, what's your name again?
Cazares.
Cazares, I think I should give you a minute to look at the police report, because
Hold on, you're gonna ask, you have to ask him a question.
yes, I would like you to read the police report, because, can we get them a copy of the police report?
You have a copy right there, sir.
This, no, I want that copy, a handwritten copy.
There is no handwritten copy. There is my copy with one of my annotations on it. It's the same thing I copied for him. There's no new and different anything in existence over here. So if the officer wants to look at mine, that's fine. Or if we can get another copy, and Mr. Davis doesn't want to get this.
Not that. I want him to read the statements. I'm pretty sure he got it. He might have it. Oh, the volunteer statements. Have you maybe read that?
Okay, so if you could ask him a question, and then if he needs help refreshing his recollection, then he can have that. So if you could please ask him a question.
Have you had any memory loss, officer?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
Have you ever had any head trauma in your 17 years on the force?
No, sir.
Objection relevance.
Sustained.
Relevance is because his whole story is backwards and he don't know what he, I'm gonna say, he don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so cross-examine him then on where you see the issues, please.
So, what was I, the defendant, placed under arrest for?
I believe he was placed under arrest for unlawful contact with a minor and delinquency to a minor.
Excuse me?
I believe delinquency to a minor, something like that.
Delinquency to a minor?
Like, yeah, something like that.
No? No?
Is there a question, sir?
I'm trying to find a delinquency of a minor. So, when I was arrested and this went to trial, what did you testify?
I don't remember going to trial on that.
You didn't go to trial?
I don't remember.
What happened to the case?
I don't know.
You don't know what happened to the case?
I don't.
So you think it magically disappeared?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
Sometimes cases were,
I'm sorry, that's sustained, so you don't have to.
No, he can answer.
No, actually, I make those calls, and when an objection is sustained, they don't answer.
Okay, I don't know. So you have no idea what happened to the case?
I do not.
Can you speculate on what happened?
Objection speculation.
Sustained.
So, when you, Detective, I forgot your name again,
Cazares.
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 So, when the defendant was, did you place him under arrest, the defendant?
Yes.
And you transferred him?
I believe so, yes.
So, I assume you did a police report?
Yes.
Did you bring that police report with you?
No.
Can I ask why not?
I didn't bring it with me. I reviewed the events, the case, but I didn't bring any paperwork with me.
But you had got the police report?
I believe so.
But you choose not to?
I don't have it with me.
So basically, you're just going on memory and basically what you recall,
Correct.
instead of bringing a paper so you can refresh your memories.
Correct.
But a lot of things you don't recall.
Well, objection,
15 years
made,
ago.
foundation.
Sustained, could you rephrase it, please?
Your Honor, what I'm trying to get to is, I like a little leeway here, is if this is 15 years ago, wouldn't it be helpful if he brought the police report and then he can see the report instead of going on the stand and guessing?
Well, objection is the characterization of guessing.
Right, so I think there's some clarity here that we're missing. Did you have the opportunity to review your report before you came to testify?
Yes, I did.
But you did not bring the actual report in to the courtroom with you, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Davis, does that clarify?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So, officer, got your name again. Caesar? Caesars?
Cazares.
Caesars.
Cazares.
Cazares, Officer Cazares. What was the outcome of this?
So that's been asked and answered. I've asked you to move into a different round, please.
I don't remember what he said was the outcome of.
We did not know.
So, do anyone know what happened?
I'm sure someone does, yes.
Can we bring that person in the court and they can tell us what happened so it's not a mystery?
Sure, I don't have subpoena power. I can't subpoena people.
So, what was Mr. Davis charged with? Luke, contributing to delinquency of a minor,
Yes, and unlawful contact with a minor.
unlawful contact, what else?
I think it was just 2 charges.
And when you arrested Mr. Davis, did you conduct a search on him?
It's normal policy that we do.
Can you tell us what he had?
I cannot. I don't remember.
I don't remember. Do you remember large sum of money coming up missing?
No,
Like maybe 8,000, 9,000 coming up missing?
no,
So you don't remember finding a large sum of money on the defendant?
I do not.
So the fact that he's a high roller, like you said, he would have money on him, am I correct?
Security said that.
But you just said that I'm considered a high roller.
I don't consider you high
So,
roller.
you don't consider me a high roller?
I don't, the security did.
So you were speaking on the security point. I'm a professional gambler.
Sir, is there a question?
I have never not had 10,000.
Sir,
5,000.
is there a question?
You stole my money.
Have a seat, please. Your cross-examination is done.
You stole my money. And that's why the charges didn't get filed. And that's why I walked.
I would ask to strike,
So,
You stole my money.
and ask the jury to disregard, please.
so, I just ask that you strike the last comments that the defendant made, and please don't consider them in any way when you go back to deliberate, please, okay? Thank you. Ms. Collins, do you have any redirect?
I just have one question. You mentioned that you were on Graveyard. Do you recall what time it was that you responded to
It was approximately 2:45 in the morning.
the overnight hours, 2:45?
2:45, yeah, like 2:45 in the military. So like, or like morning.
Nothing else, thank you.
Anything based on that question?
So you rob people at night.
Okay, so that's, all right, officer, thank you so much for your testimony. Actually, one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions for Detective Cazares before I let him go? All right, thank you so much. You are free to leave at this point in time. Please don't share your testimony with any other witness involved in this case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes.
My next witness is on the way. Yesterday I had 4 people out there and I kept cutting them loose, so I'm trying to get my next one here. It's going to be just a little bit, but I apologize for that.
How long do you think?
I'm hoping no more than 20 minutes.
So we'll take a short recess. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for one of the witnesses. So instead of us sitting here and staring at each other, I'm gonna have you guys go outside and stare at each other out there. So during the recess, you're admonished not to talk or converse among yourselves or with anyone else in any subject connected to this trial, and read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary in the trial of any person connected to this trial by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspapers, television, internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected with this trial until the case is finally submitted to you. So be outside about 10 after, so 15 minutes.
All rise for the exit of the jury.
All right, so we're outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Davis, I have tried to exercise the utmost amount of patience that I can throughout this trial. You are not going to be allowed to just ignore when I'm asking you to please calm down or to sit down. You can't yell things at witnesses like you just did with that detective, stating that he stole your money or he stole your money at night. You just can't behave like that, sir, in a court of law. And there are rules that you have to follow. If you continue to not follow those rules, then the court's gonna have to take action. Do you understand the rules of the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor, but it's really hard for me to listen to. It's really hard for me to listen to an officer sit up there and act like he don't know what's going on, had lied with the names, he got the names totally mixed up.
Okay, but sir, that's why you have that report to impeach him with.
I don't have the report.
I'm looking at it.
No, I needed the report with the girls, with Erica and Ashley, because
That is the report. That's the police report with Erica and Ashley. The contributing to delinquency of a minor.
it's on there. Where's that?
That was the report you had in your hand when you were talking to him. So you're asking a police officer about a case that was 15 years ago. So if you have questions, then you can definitely impeach him with that report. Ask him if he needs to read the report to refresh his recollection. But what you're not going to do is have those comments, accuse him of robbing you at night, things like that.
This is what I was charged with back in 2004?
Your Honor, he was arrested for unlawful contact and contributing to the delinquency. When the case came through the district attorney's office, a count of kidnapping was approved.
Okay?
Okay, so that was not what he was arrested for the kidnapping. He was arrested for the gross misdemeanor and Mistrial.
Got it. So you were arrested by police for those two counts. When it went to the district attorney's office, they added a count of kidnapping.
Your Honor, just for my knowledge, can I understand what happened in this case?
I don't, sir, I have no idea. How would I know? I have no idea. I mean, obviously, you know, you weren't convicted, right? I mean, it was my understanding that we've had multiple people say that the charges were ultimately dropped.
So there appears to be some discrepancy because NCIC indicates he was convicted of annoying a minor. The Justice Court records indicate he was convicted of nothing. So I don't know. There are no minutes from 2004 in Justice Court.
Okay. So the federal paperwork that's found in the federal database, which is referred to as NCIC, says you were convicted of a misdemeanor. The Justice Court departments say that you weren't convicted of anything, and because it's so old, there's no minutes that tell us exactly what happened.
Your Honor, I was never convicted of anything, so I don't understand what the Justice Court, which court she's saying convicted me of something.
I'm saying it's
She's not saying. She's saying the NCIC, the federal database, shows you convicted. The Justice Court shows you not convicted. That's why she's saying there's a discrepancy. The federal database, convicted. Justice Court records, not convicted.
But Your Honor, I never went to trial when I was courting this.
so, and
So how can I
we have
be
been
convicted?
treating it as he was not convicted
Right.
based on our own local records.
Right.
So this was a federal court case I got convicted of? I don't understand this.
No. There's just, NCIC is a database that
Right.
keeps people's, basically, records of this is what the person was charged with, this is what they were ultimately convicted with. If they were given probation, it talks about the term of probation, if they were revoked, things like that. So it's a federal database. Nobody here has any control over the federal database. It's just something that, you know, law enforcement, certain agencies can look up and see the charges.
So is there a way I can see this, that I never knew I was charged with something that had this on my record?
Well, I mean, you knew you were charged with
I
it.
knew I was charged with it, but I didn't know I was found guilty because I never went to court.
Did you have an attorney at that time?
Yeah, and he got thrown out.
Who was the attorney?
I don't recall.
So you could definitely maybe go down to the justice court clerk. But for purposes of this trial, it's not coming into evidence that you were convicted or anything like that.
Justice Court Clerk is obviously. And the case would be, case number on this would be,
No idea.
Hold on, maybe I can find it. I mean, it's inconsequential.
actually it's
So-
important to me.
Okay, well, here you go.
90169.
Write it down. Here she goes.
Here you go. 1943160.
Okay, just listen to what Ms. Collins is about to say and write it down.
04F 11476X.
Thank you.
And actually,
So, is there anything else? Because I'm gonna let my staff have a quick break.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what she's looking for.
nothing to do with you.
She's working on her case.
Oh,
Is there anything else you guys need to put on record?
No, ma'am. Not by mistake.
no, I just want to get to the bottom of this, Your Honor, because I can tell you, I mean, I've never been charged with a crime.
So I know, I get that.
I
I understand that for purposes of this trial though, nobody is saying that you were convicted of it. So I understand why personally you wanna make sure that
Yes.
it's taken care of. I'm just saying, I want you to know that for purposes of this trial, nobody is saying that you were convicted of these things. All right, we'll go on. All right, as soon as Keith gets back, can you line them up, Dean? Are they ready? Okay, so Ms. Collins, I do not need to read the admonishment for China, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, yep.
All rise for the entrance of the
42946, State of Nevada versus Raymond Davis, Mr. President. Mr. Klaus is standby counsel, Chief Deputy District Attorney Stephen Collins is present. Do both parties stipulate to the presence of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Collins, your next witness.
China Rollins.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may be seated. Please state your complete name, spelling both your first and last name for the record.
China Rose, CHYNAROWLES.
Okay, proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Good morning, China, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Thank you for waiting for us. How old are you today?
I'm 19 years old,
When's your birthday, China?
May 15, 2000.
Where do you live?
I live on Boulder Highway.
Who do you live with?
My mother, my father, and my son.
Did you grow up here in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Your whole life, or just part of the time? Or?
I lived out here till I was about 17, and then December 28th, I went to Arkansas with my boyfriend and met his family. And then I came back out here April 11th of 2018.
Do you live here with your boyfriend as well now?
Yes.
Okay, and you said you also live with your son.
Yes.
How old's your son?
He's going to be 2 on Sunday.
Did you go to school here in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Did you go to junior high and high school?
I went from elementary all the way up.
Did you used to know a girl by the name of Vanessa Robinson?
Yes.
How old were you when you met Vanessa?
About in 4th grade.
Were you neighbors? Did you go to school together?
We went to elementary school together.
And did you stay friends through elementary school?
Yes.
Did you and Vanessa do things outside of school?
Yes.
What kind of stuff did you do outside of school?
We'd hang out, we would go places, we'd go out to eat.
Kind of teenager stuff?
Yes.
Are you a little bit older than Vanessa or younger than Vanessa?
I'm a little bit older than Vanessa.
Now, you said you were in the same grade. Did you go straight through school, or did you skip any grades?
I got held back twice.
Okay. What years did you
I
get held
object.
back?
Your Honor, can I?
What's the objection, sir?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the held back is.
If you have any questions, you feel free to ask them on cross-examination.
China, what is held back?
I got held back in the kindergarten because of the fact that I had the flu, so I was in the hospital under sickness because I couldn't go to school. So I got held back because I missed too many days of school.
So ultimately, that put you in the same grade as Vanessa? is that
Yeah,
right?
because I got held back in kindergarten, so I did it twice.
Through Vanessa, did you meet a man named Ray Davis?
Yes.
Do you see Ray Davis in court today?
Yes.
Where is he sitting right now, and what is he wearing right now in court?
He's sitting right there. He's wearing a gray t-shirt, black blue pants with some Fila shoes on.
May the record reflect identification of defendant Davis?
Good check.
Your Honor, I object to this ID process. Obviously, I'm the defendant. Who else would she identify? There's no other black males in the audience. She's not going to identify the jury. So her ID process is ludicrous. I'm the only one that can be sitting here. What's she going to ID? Mr. Claus?
Mr. Klaus? Is that what you're talking, is that who you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only one sitting here. So her ID process is, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay, your objection's noted for the record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Overruled.
How did you meet Mr. Davis?
Vanessa invited me over to her friend's house, and he was her friend.
And where was that residence?
Near, like, Nellis, Mid-Vegas Valley-ish?
So here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada?
Yes.
Now you said house, was it a house?
It was an apartment complex.
Okay. So, the place that you went with Vanessa, was it an apartment within that complex?
Yes.
How old were you when you went over there?
Maybe 14?
Do you remember the exact?
Your Honor, I object. She's saying maybe, but if we do the years,
Okay, if you have an objection, then state it on the record. There's not going to be any speaking.
okay, I object to her saying maybe she was 14. I mean, she got to know her age.
So on cross-examination, you can address that with her. Overruled. Continue, please.
And you said your date of birth was May 15th of 2000.
Yes.
You said maybe 14.
Yeah, because it might have been around my birthday. I don't remember exactly what month it was in order for it to be around exactly my birthday month.
Was it during the school year or after the school year?
It was about midsummer.
Okay. So it was not during school time?
No.
Do you remember the last grade that you finished before you went over to his apartment?
I wasn't even in high school yet.
So you and Vanessa went to his apartment?
Yes.
How did you get there?
We took the bus.
At that time, did you live close to Vanessa, or
Yes.
did you take the same bus?
Yes.
When you went over there, was it daytime or nighttime?
It was about mid-afternoon, about 12 o'clock.
And who was present when you got to the apartment?
Just him.
Can you tell me, what do you remember about the inside of the apartment?
He had like red seats. His house was very fancy looking, very decorative.
Was anyone else home but Mr. Davis?
No.
Tell me the first thing you did when you got inside.
We just got there, we were talking, we just all having a conversation. He asked if we would like a drink, and I said no, and we were just having conversation, and the next thing you know, he was just like, Vanessa, you know what you came here for.
When you said he offered you a drink of what?
Of water. He had a bunch of drinks in his fridge. He had like sodas, juice, waters.
And he told Vanessa, you know what you came here to do?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
And what's the next thing that happened?
And then we ended up getting to what she was supposed to be doing.
Okay, and what was that?
We were supposed to be getting in the shower in front of him.
You say we were supposed to be getting in the shower in front of him. Did that happen?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
We got in the shower, we took off our clothes, and we got in the shower. The curtains were completely open, and he jacked off to with Vaseline.
So, you said the curtains were open. Are you talking about window curtains or shower curtains?
Shower curtains.
And, the bathroom that the shower was in, was that connected to a room, or was it stand by itself? Do you know what I mean?
It was like by itself. It wasn't connected to the room because the room was on the other side of the bedroom.
After he said, Vanessa, you know what you're here to do, did you know what you were there to do?
A little bit, not really, because she didn't detail it very much.
So, do you remember what you were wearing that day?
Not really.
Did you take your clothes off?
Yes.
Did Vanessa take her clothes off?
Yes.
Who turned on the shower, do you remember?
I think it was Vanessa.
When you got in the shower, what did you do?
He had us wanting to rub on each other.
Okay. When you say he had us, what do you mean?
He wanted to he wanted us to rub on each other so he can get a satisfaction for himself.
Your Honor, I object. I mean, what is she talking about?
What's the objection?
Yeah, she's saying,
What is the objection?
I mean, she's saying so I can get satisfaction off of her. I mean, speaking for me, is that what she's doing? I don't
Is
understand.
there an objection?
No objection. Go ahead.
Okay, the objection's withdrawn. Go ahead, Ms. Collins.
So, do you remember what you said, he had us rub on each other? Do you remember anything that he said to you about that? Is that a no?
No.
Was there communication from him to you while you were in the shower with Vanessa?
Yeah, he was telling us how he liked how we looked and what we were doing.
Did you touch Vanessa's body?
Yes.
Did Vanessa touch your body?
Yes.
And where were we and no clothes for both of you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are you using your hands? Are you using the washcloth?
Hands.
Okay. Where did you touch Vanessa's body?
Like her boobs, her stomach, her back.
Did you touch her genital area at all?
No.
Her butt?
Yes.
Did Vanessa touch your body?
Yes.
Where on your body did she?
She touched like my boobs, my back, my butt, and my front, like my stomach.
You said that defendant masturbated with some Vaseline. Was he in the bathroom?
Yes.
Standing up, sitting down?
Sitting on a chair.
Do you remember where the Vaseline came from?
He pulled it out his little closet.
Closet that was that in the bathroom? Or?
Yeah, it was just like a little shelves.
And when he was masturbating, did he have clothes on or just his pants open, something different?
He had clothes on, but he had took off his pants and his drawers just so he could masturbate.
Did he ejaculate?
Yes.
Do you remember where that went?
It didn't get on neither one of us, but it got on like the floor, the carpet, and like his hand.
Other than telling you that he liked how you looked, do you remember anything else he said to you?
No.
After he ejaculated, what's the very next thing that happened?
We dried off, we put some lotion on, we got dressed, and then he took us out to get chicken wings.
When you say we got dressed, who are you talking about?
Me and Vanessa, we both have got dressed.
And the clothes that you had taken off, where did you take those off?
We took them off in the bathroom.
Where was Mr. Davis when you were getting dressed?
Waiting in the living room so we could go.
How did you get to go out to eat, let me say that a different way. Where did you go to get chicken wings?
At this nearby restaurant, it's like across the street from his apartment complex.
Did you drive, walk, take a bus?
We drove.
And who drove?
Davis.
Do you remember what kind of car it was?
It was a little car. It was red and it was a little car.
After chicken wings, after you ate chicken wings, what happened?
Nothing, he just dropped us off at home.
At whose home?
At Vanessa's home.
Did you go home with Vanessa then?
Yeah.
Did you get anything from Mr. Davis for taking the shower?
Yes.
What did you get?
Money.
So you got money, did Vanessa get money?
She got the money and we split it halfways and bought shoes with it.
Do you remember how much money?
Not sure, but I think it was about $100.
And did you buy shoes that day?
Yes.
Where did you go buy shoes, do you remember?
At Ross.
How did you get from Vanessa's to Ross?
Walked.
Did you see Mr. Davis give Vanessa that money?
Yes.
Where did he give her that money?
In the house before we left.
In the apartment?
Yes.
Did you ever go back again?
No.
Why not?
Because I just stopped being friends with Vanessa because everyone was going back to her, telling her rumors that I was talking about her.
So you guys quit hanging out?
Yeah,
Do you hang out now?
no.
When was the last time you talked to Vanessa?
It was a pretty long, well, recently, just started recently because of this part of this case, but besides that, I haven't talked to her in a pretty long time.
Okay. Have you ever on your own asked Mr. Davis for money?
No,
Have you ever on your own filed a civil lawsuit against him to get money for what happened to you?
no,
Have you ever threatened him with anything like that to get money out of him?
no.
Did you report this to the police?
No,
Would it be fair to say that the first time that you talked about this was to the grand jury not so long ago? That you gave a statement about this? When you testified just a little while ago?
I've never testified.
Did you testify downstairs for me in this building a few weeks ago?
Yes,
Okay. But you've never given a recorded statement to the police? You never?
yes. Well, that was that one time when you had me go downstairs and tell you the description and all the understandings.
Okay. But before that, you never went to the police and gave a formal interview, is that
No.
right? Okay. I have no more questions from Ms. Williams or Henry.
Okay. That concludes your examination. Mr. Davis Croft.
So, you never went to the police.
No,
Why not?
because I didn't.
So, you're saying this happened midsummer of 2015?
Yes,
So midsummer of 2015, how old would you be?
I'd be. This wasn't even mid 2015 because I wasn't even hanging around Vanessa anymore. The last time I hung out with Vanessa was back in 2014. I wasn't hanging around Vanessa back in 2015 because I was in high school back in 2015.
So, you're
I was an
saying,
8th grader in 2014. I was an 8th grader. They bumped me up from 6th grade to 8th grade in 2015.
so, you're saying this didn't happen in 2015?
No, because I was not in middle school in 2015. I was in high school, and when this happened,
Let
I
me
was
ask
in
you
middle
questions
school.
and stop arguing with me, please.
Mr. Davis, you ask questions. If I need to admonish anyone, I would do it. You ask the question, allow her to finish, and then you can ask another question.
Your Honor. Okay. So, you didn't have nothing to drink in my house when you were offered a drink, right?
No,
Page 25 of the grand jury indictment. Maybe this will refresh your memory. So you don't recall having a drink. You said, you just testified that you was not offered a drink, you didn't have a drink. Am I correct?
you offered me a drink, and I said no.
So, maybe this will refresh your memory. Page 25 of your grand jury indictment, which was last week.
Last week we were here.
A couple of weeks ago, 5A. We just drank water. That, you didn't say that? To the
Yes,
grand jury?
I did say that.
So, right here, you're saying you was not offered a drink. How did you get the water?
Okay, well, I'm getting a little nervous because I'm looking at your face, Your Honor. So
Your
I'm
Honor,
getting a
not
little.
honor. That's your honor.
Okay. That's okay.
Get it right.
Mr. Davis, approach.
She just called me the judge. I'm not your honor.
It was an accident. Why did you insult? But you Because she called me with the judge.
It's clearly a mistake.
I'm not the judge. You're the judge.
I know. Damn.
You're pissing me off. I'm not the judge. You're the judge.
Sir, lower your voice.
You're the judge. I'm not the judge.
I know that.
So why would she call me the judge?
Sit down. Go sit down.
Turn around and go sit down.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You come into court, you want to lie,
Mr.
get your lie straight.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick recess. During the recess, you're admonished not to talk or converse among yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to this trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report or commentary on the trial of any person connected to this trial by any medium of information, including without limitation to newspapers, television, internet, radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected to this trial until the case is finally submitted to you. You have, it's just going to be quick. Please don't go too far. So 5 minutes, and then we'll be right back in here. Thank you so much.
All rise for the action of the jury.
Marshal Kelly, can you please take China into the anteroom? Everybody have a seat, please.
So have a seat. Will you not push the chair in my leg?
Mr. Davis, have a
Please
seat.
Please do not push the chair in my leg. Okay, have a seat, sir.
If you continue to behave like this, you are going to forfeit the ability to cross-examine witnesses. I do not appreciate the way you just treated this witness in front of the jury. And if you're trying to cause your own mistrial, sir, I am not going to allow it. If you are trying to manipulate this system so you can get a mistrial and get exactly what you want, I'm not going to allow it. So you either play by the rules, or you'll sit down and you won't cross-examine witnesses.
Your Honor.
No, that is how it's going to go. It's not going to be any Your Honor. You just flipped out at a girl because she accidentally called you Your Honor. That's preposterous.
I'm not a judge.
Who cares? Who cares if you're not a judge? Well, I don't understand why that would offend you so much. She accidentally said Your Honor instead of saying Sir or Mr. Davis. She said to you, I'm nervous up here. I apologize.
She called me a judge.
Oh my gosh. Who
called me a
cares?
judge.
Who cares? Who cares?
I'm not a judge.
No kidding. I got that. It doesn't matter. So we're gonna go back in here. You're going to behave, or you're going to forfeit any questions if you're not going to be able to carry on how an attorney would carry on. You chose to represent yourself, and we discussed that you would be held to the same standard that an attorney would be held to. I have told you, if you were an attorney, you would be sanctioned for this behavior. So get it in line. Put yourself in check and get questions together that you want to ask her. Do you understand?
Could you tell her not to call me a judge again?
No, I'm not going to tell her that. Do you understand the rules that I just put forth and the consequences if you break them?
I'm trying to comprehend them.
I don't get what's so hard about it. It's behave.
I just don't like being called things that I'm not.
Oh my gosh, sir. Do you know how many times I've been called a name? Whether I was a judge, whether I was a prosecutor?
Nobody called you a name, Your Honor.
Please.
I haven't heard you call one name out of your name in this courtroom.
Okay, you're not here all the time, sir, so I'm not going to argue with you. Someone calling you accidentally Your Honor, I think that you can probably live with that. So, We're gonna call back in the jury, and we're gonna move this along. So if we could please put China back on the stand.
That's right. Your Honor, what would midsummer be?
Sir, I'm not your attorney.
What would mids? I don't know what any of it is anymore. What would midsummer be? Yeah, what month?
All rise for the entering jury. All members of the jury are present, Your Honor.
Thank you. So we're back on the record, same parties present. Both parties declare to the presence of the jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Davis, next question.
So, you were, after this, you were taking the chicken wings in a little red car. Do you know where it's mentioned that in your grand jury? What page? I'm trying to find it.
I wasn't asked the question in the jury.
Huh?
I wasn't asked that specific question last time at the jury. I might not have the best memory, but I do remember what I do remember.
No, I have pretty good memory too.
Mr. Davis, next question now.
So, do you recall getting in a fist fight with Vanessa?
Yes.
Objection, foundation, relevance.
Sustained. Next question.
Did China beat you up? I mean, did Vanessa beat you up?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. Move on to a different subject that has nothing to do with the case at hand.
Do you have any gang affiliation?
Objection, Your Honor.
So,
Sustained.
so page 27 of the grand jury indictment, you were saying you was 14 or 15. How do you know what year it was? What year was this again?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure the year it was?
I remember though I stopped being friends with Vanessa after 2014. That is all I remember. After 2014, me and Vanessa were no longer friends because of the fight when I was in middle school. After middle school, I was no longer friends with Vanessa.
So this could have been 2015.
No, because I stopped being friends with Vanessa after that fight, and when I was in the 8th grade. So I could have been possibly 15 because of the fact that it was 8th grade year, but I was maybe 15.
You were maybe 15.
But I've always been older than Vanessa. I got held back 6th grade year too because of the fact that I failed math.
So, page 25 of the grand jury indictment. You told the grand jury, 8/7, that you kept your clothes on in the shower. Is that true?
Kept my what?
Clothes on.
No, I said I made a mistake and I fixed my mistake when I said that
Oh, you made a
at the
mistake?
grand jury.
Well, you made a mistake with the grand jury. So when you ate the chicken wings and then you went to Ross, how did you get to Ross?
I walked from Vanessa's house.
So you guys didn't ride in a little black car to Ross?
I don't remember exactly.
You just said you walked to Ross.
Because that's what I remember doing, is walking from Vanessa's house, because after the fact that we saw you, we went to her house. And then later that day, we ended up going to her boyfriend's house to the mall.
So you don't remember how you got to Ross?
I remember walking with Vanessa.
So basically you didn't driven to Ross. You
I don't remember getting driven to Ross. I remember walking from Vanessa's house.
What I'm trying to get at is, you didn't get a ride to Ross.
Well, objection cumulative at this point.
Asked and answered, sustained.
But you do remember the car was red.
Is that a yes, Trina? Okay, that was a yes.
And this was your only encounter with me, ever.
Yes.
And you never saw me again until today?
No, I've never seen you. I've only seen you that one exact time. That was it.
So I guess you would remember that the car was a little red car.
Okay, that's been asked and answered, move on.
Well, I'm trying to pinpoint what you told the grand jury in the shower. I don't recall seeing anything where you were
Is there a question?
not reading to myself. Did the defendant ever contact you on Facebook?
Who?
The defendant.
You?
I'm the defendant.
No, not that I remember. And if I did, I was probably already blocking everybody because I wanted no contact with everybody. And if you did, I probably blocked you. Every person that friend requested me or sent me a message through message request on Facebook, I block.
I believe you on that one.
Question. Next question, no comments.
So during your photo lineup, when you pointed me out, which number in the photo lineup was I?
Your Honor, objection on the approach.
Yes.
There is no photo lineup for this witness, so
It's
I
a-
don't know what he's talking about.
It said picture for the grand jury, in her grand jury testimony. This is the only testimony she ever testified to. So it says picture.
That's not a photo lineup. You can say you're showing a picture,
What?
but don't say photo lineup because there's no photo lineup.
Okay.
Okay, when you're showing pictures at the grand jury, how many pictures did they show you?
One.
They showed you one picture?
Yes.
And who was in the picture?
You.
So, when you went into the shower, who closed the shower door?
There was no shower door closed.
There's no shower door closed.
The shower curtain was open.
Why didn't you close it?
Because you wanted it open.
So, how did Vanessa tell you she met me?
She didn't tell me very much information upon you. She just said that you were a friend.
So she just said you're going over a friend's house to,
She didn't explain very much details. She just said that we're gonna go to my friend's house.
no more questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Collins, any redirect?
When in 2015 did you stop talking to Vanessa? Do you remember?
It was after our fight,
Okay.
right after our fight.
The one you told me where she was talking to other people?
Yeah, and everybody was telling her rumors that I didn't like her and all these other different stuff.
Okay. So was that the year that you started high school?
Yeah. And that was the mid school year when I was going to high school the next year. That was right after middle school, 8th grade year.
So the shower incident that we've been talking about at Mr. Davis's house, was that the summer before the fight? But you were still talking to Vanessa when you went over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So was that the summer before you quit talking to Vanessa?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing else, Chairman.
Anything based on that one question?
Yes, recall. I would like to,
No, it's based on that question. Do you have
yes,
something based
Your
on
Honor,
that
that was
question?
my question. Break it down in the fight.
No, the fight.
Right, I'm trying to, yes.
Okay, we gotta be clear about what fight we're talking about. Ms. Collins was talking about the fight that China had previously referenced, how people were telling Vanessa that she was talking about them, and they got in, and so Vanessa and her didn't want to be friends anymore.
Right. That's what I'm,
Okay?
actually, just a minute. So you're saying after the fight with Vanessa, you never had any more, nothing else to do with it? No messages, no nothing?
Is that a motion?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Your Honor.
Is there a question?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna need some time to find a Facebook thing of communication between the two after, basically after.
Well, you know, I'm gonna object, he's testifying. If he needs a moment to locate materials, I don't have a problem with that, but he can't testify what they contain.
That's fine. Go,
I have a moment.
go for it.
Your Honor, I would like to leave open to recall this witness to the stand because it's maybe 200 pages here and I gotta go through it. I would like to recall her. I don't want to hold up the court.
Perhaps we could take our lunch recess and he can make sure what he needs to do.
I'm not looking,
I'm sorry?
I can't look through 200 pages on a lunch recess.
How long do you need to go through 200 pages?
Well, it's actually might be more than 200 because I don't think I have all the pages.
Ms. Holmes, do you have any other pieces of before lunch lined up?
No, my next is 1 o'clock.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, no more questions for this witness. No,
Okay. Thank you very much. Please have discuss your testimony with anyone else in the committee before you speak with me. All right. So I want to keep things moving, you guys, as fast as possible. So we're going to take a shorter lunch. It's going to be 45 minutes. During the recess, you're admonished not to talk or converse among yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to this trial. Read, watch, or listen to any report of or commentary on the trial of any person connected to this trial, or any meaning or information, including, without limitation, to newspapers, television, the internet, radio, form or express any opinion on any subject connected to the trial until the case is finally submitted to you. Please be outside at 1 o'clock. Thank you. Have a great lunch.
All right, for the afternoon hearing.
All right, we're outside the presence of the jury. We're going to start back up at 1 o'clock. Mr. Davis, I'd ask you on the break to read over NRS 22.010 and 22.030. If there is any other outburst, I will be issuing contempt time, 25 days contempt per outburst, to be served in custody at the Clark County Detention Center. So I'd ask that you look through those acts, which discuss the type of acts that would be contemptuous. And I'm just wanting you to know that if that does happen, you will be serving contempt time for each and every outburst that occurs consecutively, because we're not going to be having these outbursts
Your Honor.
during a trial.
I don't think I'm mentally capable of not having an outburst. So I would like to get an attorney at this point in time. I would like a lawyer.
I already talked to you about the
I would
Florida
like a
candidate.
lawyer, Your Honor.
Okay, your request for a lawyer is denied. We discussed that in regards to a Florida canvas, that you would not be able to just stop in the middle and say, I need an attorney.
Your Honor, for you to say that any outburst, I go to jail for 25 days when I am fit and just got diagnosed as not competent to stand trial.
You did not get diagnosed
Okay.
as non-competent.
Okay, I just came from a psychologist, Your Honor.
Who said that you were appropriate and fine and sent you to outpatient. Are you saying you are incompetent at this point to stand trial?
I am saying.
Are you saying that you are incompetent to stand trial?
I'm not a danger.
And that was all I'm asking you. Are you saying that you are mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Yes.
Okay, the defendant is remanded into custody. This matter is referred to Department 7 for a competency evaluation. He's remanded with no bail. This matter will be mistried due to the defendant's representations that he is not competent to stand trial. So the defendant is remanded into custody, no bail. This matter is referred to the Department 7 for a competency evaluation due to the defendant's representations. After competency is addressed, if he were to come back, then we will have a bail hearing in regards to his custody status. The matter is mistried. Paul. C342946. We are back on the record in the state of Nevada versus Raymond Davis. Mr. Davis has just been taken back. One thing that I forgot to do is relieve Mr. Klaus of his standby duties. He is no longer required or a part of this case. So you are relieved of all duties at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the third party.
All right. So we are back in the record in state of Nevada versus Raymond Davis, C342946. Mr. Davis is not present. Mr. Klaus is here, who was previously his standby counsel, but I have relieved him of that duty. Ms. Collins on behalf of the state. As everyone is aware, the defendant used the words mentally incompetent. So because of that, I first want to say I don't believe in any way, shape, or form he's mentally incompetent. I think that this is a long, long, long list of ways that he manipulates this system, which he's done for the 2 weeks that he has been in here. He has tried everything. He has tried getting an independent mental evaluation that showed his behavior and mood was appropriate. He's told me that he's had surgery for a foot and he wasn't going to be able to make it. He has tried everything, and now he had 3 outbursts today. One simply because someone accidentally called him Your Honor. I don't think he's mentally incompetent to stand trial. I think that he has a hard time behaving and has impulse control issues. That being said, when he uses the term mentally incompetent, I don't think I have any other choice but to send him to DC7 for a competency evaluation. That being said, because of his repeated outburst, 3 today, and his absolute inability to comply with court orders, I can't explain how many times I've had to call him to the bench about behavior, about comments about Ms. Collins, about comments about what witnesses are saying, interjecting his own comments instead of asking questions. Because of that, I believe he has forfeited his right to represent himself, and based on other issues where he continues to claim mental breakdowns and current statements about his incompetence, it would be legally inappropriate for him to represent himself as pro per. So at this point in time, I am revoking his pro per status, and I will make sure and let DC7 know that, and Drew Christensen and/or the Special Public Defender's Office, that counsel will need to be appointed, just so that he has somebody throughout this process, and I'll make sure that those arrangements are made so that when he gets to DC7, that happens. So I just want to make sure that we put that on the record, because we didn't have the opportunity to do so when he was taken back. So that's it, thank you.
Ready to play Majunas in?